Hi, T.O.T. Carlson here. I love the Beatles, and my absolute favorite Beatle, of course, was George Harrison. The so-called Quiet Beatles certainly had a wide array of work once he started his solo career following the Beatles' disbandment. And a few years ago, we actually got a documentary on George Harrison from Martin Scorsese, of all people. Today, we're looking at the limited edition deluxe package of George Harrison Living in the Material World. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Nice cover art there with George. This does have a plastic slip cover on it. Yeah. Sides of the box are just plain. The slip cover has the title of the documentary on it. And then on the back, you got a list of the contents. Slip cover comes off, and this actually has a ribbon to help you open it, so we'll do that. Right here, we've got the case that has the discs in it. Of course, we got a very young George Harrison on the cover there, like pre-Mop Top days. And here we have a much older George Harrison. And we get 4 discs in this package. We get a DVD that has part 1 of the movie, a DVD that has part 2 of the movie, a Blu-ray disc that has both parts, and then we have a CD of previously unreleased tracks. And because of the way the package is designed, you can actually put any side of this booklet or the big book in the package out front, and you can change the cover art to be whatever you want it to be. I kind of like that idea. And then also in here we got, another old photo of George. Again, if you want to make that the cover art for the box, that would be a fine choice. Another photo of George. I mean, if you wanted, you could even just frame those photos and hang them on your wall. And then one of the big things we get in here is a nice big paper-bound book. Got some rare photos and pretty cool info on George. As usual, I'm not going to go through every single page in here. Living in the Material World, of course, revolves around the life of George Harrison. The documentary is broken into 2 parts. The first part, of course, covers everything up to around the Maharishi days of the Beatles, and then the second part pretty much covers everything after, up to Harrison's death in 2001. Harrison's widow, Olivia, was very reluctant to have any documentaries made on her husband. She really wanted something made that was told with archival footage. And, of course, eventually she gave in and let Martin Scorsese come in and make the movie, being an acclaimed filmmaker of both narrative films and concert and musician biographies and documentaries. The end result here is something of a mixed bag. At about 210 minutes, that's about 3.5 hours for the documentary, which is actually broken into 2 parts. It is a little on the long side, and it does meander at times. There also are a few parts where people are not introduced when they're interviewed, so it's like this documentary expects you to already have some knowledge of George Harrison coming in. I think they could have made this a little more accessible to new and casual fans, so that's one minor criticism there. That said, though, the sheer array of footage they managed to compile for this collection is quite fantastic. They get some good interviewees, including friends, family members, ex-bandmates, a little bit of everybody, so you at least get a look at George Harrison through several people's eyes, and that really adds something to the end result here. So overall, I wouldn't say this documentary is a masterpiece, but it's certainly a good look at George Harrison's life. And Martin Scorsese, I would say for the most part, is done right by the Harrison family with this film. Understandably, the picture quality differs from source to source because you have all those different sources that were used for the archival footage. Most of the stuff, including the new interviews, actually look very good, and I don't think fans will be too disappointed with what they see here. The disc also has some additional bonus features, including some audio stuff and some additional interviews that didn't make it into the final documentary. So there is plenty to watch if you are a fan here. If you are a fan of George Harrison, this documentary is well worth picking up. I'm not sure if the discs are still in print. I know there was a more stripped down version that doesn't have everything this deluxe edition does, so something to consider there if you're looking for the movie. How about you? What did you think of George Harrison Living in the Material World? Did you think this was a great documentary on the so-called Quiet Beatle? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content, and I'm always posting new videos. And make sure to give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm T.O.T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.